Hey everybody, welcome to episode 183?
2.
No, we did two. Two was last
Oh.
time, right? It was Michael, two was last time, right?
I'm retarded. I don't know.
Okay, 180 question mark of the League of Legends Anonymous podcast. I'm your host, Wise Papa Smurf, and with me is Alec Wormlax. What's up, dude?
What up? How's it going, man?
And local self-admitted retard Michael Largent, aka Ponderous Sea Lion. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys? Follow me on Twitter at Wise Papa Smurf. Lol Wise Papa Smurf. That's my Twitter.
Yeah, hit him up and tell him how retarded you think he is, so that way I can retweet it to him.
Or we could make another fucking Twitter poll about it. Holy shit.
Think about all the engagement that we
His
would
Twitter
have.
is all about just flaming high elo.
Yes, we have. We have talked about that. That was last week. So, guys, you're getting this episode probably in a back-to-back episode blitz because I think we just released our late recorded episode like today or yesterday. So,
A day.
enjoy all of this that you get to listen
All the
to.
Lola
and
you can handle.
pound that Lola into your ear holes. But today, we're going to talk about coaching because it's become a hot topic over here on the Discord. I've been hit up a lot this week about, hey, can you look at my stuff? I want to get better. It's time to get serious on the ranked climb. And that is fucking awesome. Like, I'm super excited that people are into that. I like doing it. So thank you for reaching out to me. I know Michael's coached a jungler.
2 junglers.
Oh, 2 junglers now.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Building that resume.
Build it. And then Wormlax has coached fucking nobody because he's an AFK member of the podcast.
I did some like a couple months back, but yeah, I've not done one in a long time. So if you need help in top lane, I know it's a really boring lane right now, but I love you.
Hell no. If you get coaching from me, I'll teach you how to play top lane the fun way. With Tryndamere and fucking
Oh,
Kled.
hell no. Don't you talk like you're having fun with Tryndamere. Tryndamere is for masochists and sadists.
Wait, I got to Diamond 3 playing Tryndamere.
Wait. Am I
You
gonna
did. That's a true story. I was there.
Oh man, we probably like played against each other at some point without realizing it, and I hated your guts because Tryndamere is this champion that no matter how long I've played this game, I can't. No matter what, like if I play a counter or anything, I always lose to Tryndamere.
I'll give you some. I'll coach Wormlax in the Tryndamere matchup.
Oh,
I actually would not be against that, to be honest.
that's YouTube.
That's what we should
gold
do
right
after
there.
we finish the podcast. We should stream me beating your dumbass 1v1 and 1v1's top lane.
Wow. Okay,
That would
that's
be
a challenge.
great.
Okay.
It goes so quickly from I will help you to I will fucking destroy you.
It's
Like
both.
that.
It's both. It's both. I'm
He's
a
going to
benevolent.
destroy me and then show me how he did it.
All right, so speaking of coaching, we wanted to talk about coaching, and I feel like there's some baseline things that everybody who wants coaching needs to do before they sit down to get coached, right? And there's some resources out there that are available to you that cover bases that I'm going to tell you anyway, right? That you can learn quicker and more effectively by just watching a couple of videos.
We know we're your favorite source of knowledge, but we have some other ones for you too.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. I'm all about reinventing the wheel and slapping a Lola sticker on it and pretending we did it first. Because there are no copyrights on this kind of shit. So, whatever. But realistically, we have talked about these videos before, but I don't recall mentioning it in the last 30 episodes. So I'm going to do it again.
Or you could watch. By the way, the first source of knowledge is League of Legends Radio. Probably the best source of knowledge or one-stop shop for League of Legends related
It's all
advice.
outdated. Don't look at it.
Yeah,
It's actually outdated as fuck. Don't actually watch that. I mean, I made the first episode when fucking Bard was released, so that shit is old now. And my voice was even squeakier than it is now. But it exists.
it's one of
on
the
the internet.
highest rated shows out there.
Fuck you, Blake. Suck my dick.
When I was a little silver scrub, I was listening to it. No joke.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was.
That's cool.
All
That's
right.
whack.
Memory moments. Feeling the love here. If I had graphic control of the stream, I'd draw like a big heart and just put it right between your windows there.
If
in
you
that
weren't
moment.
a bitch, you would do it anyways,
I
whether you
gotta-
have graphic
all right, I'm
control
gonna-
or not.
I'm gonna find a graphic for this. We'll do that.
Driving-
Anyway,
This is gonna make
Michigan to
great audio
Wisconsin.
content while Blake searches
Yeah.
for
No,
how
no.
to draw a heart.
here's the audio content. UNSW LOL Society. Do a Google search for that. There is a playlist of videos called LeagueCraft 101. And in the LeagueCraft 101, there's two sets of videos. One is an hour-long college lecture, which is what I learned from whenever I started playing. And then the other are 7-minute summaries of those hour-long videos that contain virtually all the same information, but are condensed down into something that's like a little bit more palatable, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being
And it
said,
actually has visual representation too.
yeah, I mean, it'll tell you the concept, he'll explain the concept, and then he'll show you on the screen how exactly that works, right? And he'll give you demo videos from gameplay, from himself and other people doing these core concepts. That is incredibly valuable information, and I never see it, like, and haven't seen it since, done this well, right? Like, I cannot say with a greater emphasis to spend the time watching these effing videos. They're 7 minutes apiece. Like,
Yeah.
in
When I
7
was-
minutes, you can learn something that it will take you 2,000 games to learn otherwise.
Yeah.
I would say that if you learn and apply everything that's in them to the best of your ability right now, you'll probably go up a division. If you apply it. Just watching the videos isn't going to make you better. You have to make an effort to apply them. And that's, I think, a big misconception about League of Legends content is that, like, you watch it, you digest it, and then you play the exact same as you played before, and then nothing changes. And you're like, oh, this sucks. I need one-on-one coaching. I'm not saying that necessarily to disparage anyone who's asked for coaching, but the fact of it is it's hard to apply the stuff that you learn in these types of videos, but that's the most crucial step. You're not going to get better just by watching the videos.
Right. It's not like the Matrix where you like plug the jack in your head and you're like, I know Kung Fu.
Exactly.
You know,
It's
you
not
actually, you got to practice Kung Fu, dude.
Right.
Yeah. When I was in Platinum last season, got placed into Platinum and trying to make my push to Diamond, I was watching these videos. These are not just, oh, I'm in Bronze or Silver, I need to get higher videos. I was in Platinum and it helped me make my push to Diamond.
I learn stuff from them
Videos.
now, and I'm Diamond 3. So
Yeah.
you will learn a lot from them.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
I honestly think watching those videos gave me every piece of information I needed to make Diamond.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
everything
the
in
sum
there.
total of the parts of that video, as long as you have passable mechanics, is enough to get you to Diamond. Just those videos. That's not necessarily all you should watch, but like we can't overemphasize watching these videos. And I think you should watch the hour-long version and then the 7-minute version as a summary after you watch the long version. But if you can only watch the 7-minute version, or you only have the patience for the 7-minute version, that's fine. But I'm just all about doing the proper research when you're trying to learn something. And I think that the long form gives you more time to kind of
Digest.
take it all in and adjust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay, so those things are incredibly huge. I think really that's what taught me to play support and position in the bot lane. It taught me how to zone and pressure and extend advantages to a breaking point. Like everything I really learned that formed the basis of how I play, I learned from there, right? So before you ask for coaching, you need to watch those videos at a baseline level and try to apply them, right? Because that's the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is watch the videos. So we can use your first coaching session for me walking you through videos, or you can watch those and come and talk to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Worm, what content do you have you think people should realistically focus on as like a baseline piece of critical content to get better?
I think that one that will always ring true for me is Solo Renekton Only's wave management. He has some pretty specific videos about it, but also pretty much every game he plays, he talks about it. He is very good at laying it out in a very simple and applied way. It's very easy to learn from him, and he's also enjoyable while doing it. I mean, part of the problem can be when trying to learn new things is, like we talked about with the hour-long lecture one, it's so hard to like palate that at times, but the 7-minute videos help that. So same with Solo Renekton, like watching his video doesn't feel like you're tasked with learning this new thing. You're just watching a fun video and you happen to learn something out of it.
Okay, I'm going to brag a little bit on Ponderous Sea Lion here. The thing that he does better than other diamond level top laners is wave management. And those things that he carries forward, like he generates wins based on the pressure of like when to push, when to stop, when to go back, when to try to take turret. I rarely see a game where he doesn't have the first turret down, right? That is very impressive. Now, if he could get his head removed from his ass for like a moment on making these bonehead ass plays to balance out that wave management, then I'm sure he would like rocket through the standings.
That's basically, he was watching one of my games, and he's like, holy shit, Michael, your mechanics are so good, and you're actually managing these waves super perfectly. And then I just jump into 2 people and kill myself, and he's like, yep, that's
there it is.
That's the Diamond 5 with him trying to break out.
Oh man,
Like,
I relate to
thing
that.
in
So
Alien,
much.
where like, you know how the thing in Alien, it like jumps out of the dude's
The,
stomach?
like, chest
Chest
burster
burster.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the chest burst. That's like the Diamond 5 within. It's like, it's like all the way into tower and then base. No, dive the turret, kill them all, and then
I can 1v2.
yeah, and then it doesn't happen, and then I lose, and then I'm like, my bot lane's feeding. It's their fault that I lost, not mine for making mistakes. And it's
Yeah.
good shit.
I
But
think if
anyways.
you talk to any of my friends who I play with on a regular basis, they would say that what I talk through is much higher elo than what I actually do. I'll be like, oh, I probably should back here. This would be a good time to back, or their jungler might be here. Oh, look, they are here. I'm dead. Oh, wow. I should have listened to
You're
myself.
talking about that inner voice shit. And that's
Yeah.
true. Like, I don't know how many times I'm like, you know, if I do this, then this is probably going to happen. Oh, it happened. I'm a
Yep.
fucking idiot. And it's just like, when am I just going to trust that I know what the fuck I'm talking about and do what I think I should? You know?
Yep.
And I don't know why that is, but it seems like every player has that, right? And but regardless, that's a neither here nor there. But yeah, those wave management videos, it is literally an invisible part of the game that converts creeps into another teammate.
And I think everyone would be very surprised. If you don't know anything about wave management, I think you would be insanely surprised how easy it is.
It is not difficult, and it's something that you can learn over time by focusing on it. Because I just learned it by
Yep.
watching Fogged for the win and Boxer Pete. They're 2 really high elo Tryndamere mains because I was trying to learn Tryndamere. And I just watched how they would leave the waves. Fogged talks about wave management a lot. He's really good if you want to play top lane, even if you don't play Tryndamere. If you want to play any split pushing champion, he's good to watch because his wave management is impeccable. It's like some of the best I've ever seen, and it has to be that good for you to get challenger with a champion like Tryndamere. So, like, I 100% believe that if his wave management was any worse, he'd be like 100 or 200 LP Masters. But instead, he's actually a challenger tier player because he's so good at it. Like, if it makes the difference between 200 points in Master, it's going to make the difference between 200 points, aka 2 divisions, in Bronze or Silver, I guarantee. But, yeah.
All right, so Michael, what do you think, man? What's your resource that everybody should realistically be watching or
So you
reading
should
or
watch
listening or whatever?
you should watch on YouTube other people getting coached by solid coaches. The ones that I watch Metaphor for Jungle and what was it? Hacks Defender, H4X Defender on YouTube. He doesn't have that many subscribers, but he's a really good resource. He coaches, I believe, all roles. And one more that unfortunately has just quote-unquote quit League that I hope he comes back is Nice. And he has a huge catalog of coaching videos, every ELO from bronze to diamond and every role. And you should really be watching those because watching other people get coached is the most similar thing to getting coached yourself because not everyone makes the same mistakes, but I guarantee if you're silver, the quantity of your mistakes is enough that you're going to see other silver players. There's going to be overlap no matter what. Like when you get to Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Master Tier range, it becomes a lot more focused. Like I personally think that's like the ELO where coaching becomes super important is Diamond 2 onward because your mistakes are so specific because you've gotten so good at so much of the game that you kind of have to get someone in to show you the more nuanced
you have
stuff.
to
But
look at your stiff under a
Right.
microscope.
like, you have to go under a microscope. No offense, but if you're platinum or lower or even diamond 5 or lower, your mistakes are very broad and very fixable. And other people are making the exact mistakes as you. So Nice, Hacks Defender, and Metaphor are probably the 3 that I would go to for coach. And LS is good too, but
like I said, I could not count on one hand. I watched one of my own games, and I'm like, ooh, okay, that was a pretty obvious fucking flub, right?
Yeah.
Or like, oh, wow, mechanically I missed fucking everything. I don't know how many. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say one more thing is watch people who play your champion who one-trick your champion. Like I was talking about Fogged and Box Repeat, they're both Tryndamere mains. And I was like, I want to play top lane, and a champion that I like is Tryndamere. So I'm just going to one-trick Tryndamere top lane until I'm good at it. And that's exactly what I did. I've probably played like 80-something, probably more Tryndamere games in the past few months, just learning how it works, just learning how to play him, until I got to the point where I can more or less hold my own against other mid-diamond top lane mains who have been playing it for years just because I focused on one champion and one role. If I was playing 3 champions, my progress would have been infinitely slower. And granted, I was learning a new lane. Like if you're already a jungler and you want to pick up a new jungler, that's different than me trying to pick up a whole new role. But at the same time, I mean, you've heard to limit your champion pool, but this is kind of attached to that. Limit your champion pool and watch people who play your champion into every situation, whether it's beneficial or adverse. Because Tryndamere is one of those champions that if you're playing against 3 tanks, that shit sucks for you. Less so now that Conqueror is out. But there are a lot of games where in Champion Select, you are going to be like, this is not an ideal scenario to be playing this champion. And learning how to... One-tricks are frankly just the best at those situations. Like, one-tricks know the most about their champion, even compared to pro players that play the same champion. High elo one-tricks, like Master Challenger. And I promise you, somewhere there is a one-trick that plays your champion who's at least Diamond 2+. And you really have to watch their videos. If you can only find their VODs on YouTube, like if you only can look up, like, high elo Diana player and you find some, I mean, there are NA Dianas, but you can only find some Korean Diana player, watch that because you will learn from that. And also look for Twitch streams and Twitch VODs if they don't have a YouTube channel because a lot of people stream but don't have YouTube content. So you kind of have to do some hunting for that, but find someone that plays your champion. Super, super, super important.
Yeah, actually, on that note of like finding stuff, there's also the channel Tech, Tekk.
Yeah,
he literally just uploads VODs of pro players and high elo streamers playing like against other people. Like it's literally just full VODs, and you can find every champion on there.
So I actually used to work for a website called ImproveYourLeague.com that maybe a few people have heard of. I doubt it, but maybe a couple of them have been to it. And it was the whole point of the site was categorizing YouTube videos that already exist that are free and putting them under specific tabs. So like Wave Management would have its own tab, and you just go to the website, click on Wave Management, and a whole bunch of wave management videos pop up, or how to untilt, and then you click it, and then a whole bunch of videos about untilting came up. So, and then there was, of course, specific champion matchups. So I have a ton of experience on Tech's channel because that's where we got a shit ton of our matchup videos from.
Mhm.
And the only thing I'd say for him, because I think it is a good resource, but some people that he puts on there are not as good as they should be. Like, I don't want to necessarily call anybody out, but there's some people that he puts on there that used to be good that aren't anymore, and I'll just leave it at that. So if you're going to watch his channel, just be careful, because there's some people that give bogus information, which is not his fault. He's just ripping the video straight from the Twitch, and also a lot of them don't talk, because most pros don't really give instructions while they stream.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
Like,
speaking of people
I'd
who
say, yeah.
do actually give instruction while they stream, Mid Beast.
yes,
I know we wanted to talk about Mid Beast, and I know that's like Wormlax's boy, so I'll let him take over.
Yeah.
You watch that dude?
I watch a ton of Midbeast, and it's because he literally talks out loud about every single decision he is making. I haven't played mid. I've mid maybe once this season in ranked, but his decision-making skills and macro play as a challenger player are like just so insanely valuable. And he talks about exactly why he's making those decisions. Like, if he takes a slight step back towards his turret, he will explain why he did that. If he wards 1 second later than normally he would, he'll explain that. Like, he will explain every last detail down to the core, and no matter what lane you play in, like, you'll really get a lot out of it if you're a mid lane player, but even macro-wise, you can get so much out of watching not only his YouTube, which is a little more fun to watch because it's more of the highlights, but especially watch his streams and his VODs, because you'll get a full gameplay out of it where he just explains every last thing he is doing.
Yep.
So,
I can also vouch for Mid Beast. That was the warding video that I told all of you to watch if you don't want to be a shitter
Yep.
anymore.
So here's one. Painless Death. He's been on the show like 3 or 4 times. I have always found that he is informative, entertaining, and like he doesn't have such an enormous following that he can't talk to you directly, right? So if you ask him questions, he'll answer you. And that's something that I think is pretty huge, is the ability to actually interact and pick the brain of someone who's
Yes.
like that level. And he's a challenger support main. So
yeah.
hit that dude up. He's another good resource, Painless Death 22 on Twitter, and you can check out his Twitch and everything else. Okay, so aside from those plugs, I do want to say that mindset is an enormous thing that you need to fix or be ready to fix before receiving coaching, right?
Wrong. Look at me. I have the worst mindset of anyone you've ever met, and I'm Diamond. So
I
fuck
have
whatever. Blake
literally
is-
never coached your ass, and that's probably why. So, I mean, here's the thing. We're going to pull on Ashley, who's gotten coaching from me and support in the next, like, probably few weeks or whatever. I was going to try to get her on tonight, but she didn't respond in the 39-minute heads up I gave her before we started recording.
Lazy Canadians. That's
Yeah,
a
I
new
know.
stereotype.
Lazy ass fucking Canadians. Just not getting it done. Probably smoking
Chugging
snow.
maple syrup or something.
Yeah.
Well, riding a moose.
Yeah.
Just having a good time on a snowmobile or whatever, but not
Yeah.
actually at their computer getting better at League.
I can't talk
so-
much. I'm from Michigan, basically Canadian.
Well, I just
Love.
think you're close enough to spit on them. That's
Perfect.
probably why you
That's
moved
our
there.
front line of defense.
Yeah, that's our first line of defense. They're like,
I
oh
expect
my,
you to take up arms,
that's rude, eh?
Alec.
What?
I said I expect you to take up arms.
Oh, 100%. You know, everybody's talking about this Trump wall down in Mexico, but they don't realize where the real wall needs to be.
There's actually a Canadian spit moat. Yeah. We don't need a wall. We went down, and then we
Yeah,
filled
you know,
it with spit.
how do you think the Great Lakes got there?
Yeah,
That's all
that
spit.
was step one.
We're creating a giant moat. We're gonna build a moat. It's gonna be the greatest moat in the history of the world.
It's going to be
So
the
great it's gonna
deepest,
be a lake.
Canada's
most
gonna pay.
alligator-filled boat you'll ever
Canada's
see.
gonna pay for the moat. By the way, But
Well, there's free
anyway,
healthcare.
Canada. I lost my train of thought. We were talking shit on Canada so long that I forgot.
Ashley.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring on Ashley, and she's gonna talk about what her experience has been getting coached, whether it's good or bad, or how hard it shattered her self-esteem. But like, the key here is that like you really, in order to get coaching, have to realize that you have room to improve. Like you have to take your ego and set it aside and say, okay, while I may be good at some things, I have to get better at others, and I have to be willing to accept that. I watched a video of Sam coaching a guy, and I can't remember, it was a while back. And the problem with the coaching video is the video took 2 hours. And the reason it took 2 hours is because the guy had a reason or an excuse for everything in hindsight, and none of the critiques could sink in because it would just kind of bounce off his armor, right? Like he had clearly mind armor on that he didn't want to feel bad about his decisions, and he didn't really accept responsibility for his error, right? And that makes it really hard. I mean, how are you going to tell somebody like you need to improve on this when they don't ever admit that they could have made a mistake? Right?
I mean, look at, like, just a quick note, like, when we're talking, all the people we all just rattled off to watch, like, none of us had to do a ton of research before this episode about who to watch. We just watched those people ourselves.
No, we came up with literally 5 minutes before the episode. Blake's like, we don't have any show notes, so I just want to talk about learning resources because I'm fucking stupid and I didn't plan anything. And then he's like, and then
that does sound like me.
and then he's just like,
I don't recall saying about half of that. But part of it strikes through.
You're old
I can
and your memory is
corroborate.
failing. And
I just remember I like
getting
rolled
thoughts
up here in
like,
my
get over it.
wheelchair, and I was like, guys, I haven't taken my ginkgo bilobas today, and the mail was slow, so the typewritten show notes I wrote you a week and a half ago have yet to arrive in the post.
anyways, Blake is lazy and useless. That's the point of what I'm trying to say. But really, he literally was just like, hey guys, we need learning resources. Who do you recommend? And then we just rattled off like 10 channels. And it's like, that is, you have to have a database like that if you want to get better at this game. Because like I mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago when it was the three of us, pretty much any video made by a reputable player is worth 5 to 10 times as much time as you would spend in game, at least, and probably way more than that, because an hour-long UNSW Law Society video is worth 100, 200, 500, 1,000 hours in League of Legends, and
I would absolutely agree with yes.
Yeah, no, we're not exaggerating. Like seriously, it's that valuable in terms of like how much it accelerates your learning curve.
Yeah, man, you're really just ripping back the curtain at Oz here on the LOLA podcast. He's walking in. It's not a big guy. He's hiding behind the curtain. He's small. Fuck that guy. Like immediately.
Right, but that's the other thing you have to realize too is that you do have to rip back the curtain and see that like we're not some crazy gifted players who came in and just were good at League. Like we all are students of the game who have took tons of time out to get better at this game.
He's not magic. He's weak to bullets. Fire! Fire! Yeah. That's welcome to Oz. So, anyway, did I just lose sound from you guys?
Can you hear everything?
Yeah.
I lost audio for a second.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Okay.
I think he broke it by yelling.
Did I break it by yelling? I broke it with enthusiasm, you see.
It was worth it.
Enthusiasm. So, that being said, yeah, those are all really, really useful things. And like I said, mindset is another really useful thing, and you got to be able to set your ego aside and receive and absorb that information.
Yeah, if you ask for coaching, accept what they tell you, uncritically when they tell it to you, and then if you want, you can record it and rewatch it later and evaluate if you are gonna go through with everything they said. But
I think that
I hear you
I
again.
think
Now I
I
hear
think
you.
Discord is the one that's cutting out.
you guys want to try a different room on the Discord?
No, it's fine. Let's keep it going. So, because I mean, Zencaster's recording, so we're
Yeah.
being heard. It'll
Oh,
be
okay.
fine. But
Cool.
So just keep making your point if you're
yeah, just
talking
keep
when it
making
cuts
your
out.
point. If it cuts out, you're fine. Just stay the course. So, so I mean, yeah, I was saying mindset's a big one. The other big one is there is no magic fucking bullet here. There's no shortcut. There's no like 5 things you do to reach Challenger. That is a clickbait fucking video. You will not
Show me the
reach-
video.
Foxtrot lol. What?
Yeah, you will
What?
not. You will not reach Challenger in 5 things. Like
And
there, there may be like 5 things that you're not even thinking about doing that you need to really be working on, but it's not like, oh man, I had this huge gaping wound, and now that I've thrown this 5-minute Band-Aid on it, all of a sudden I'm Challenger tomorrow, right? Like it's
And-
not gonna happen.
you will not get any more. Use the UNSW Law Society videos as a template. You will not get any more information than is in those videos from any other source of information in that period of time or in any period of time. So anything and those videos don't claim to get you to X rank. They just claim you will learn stuff if you watch this. That's the only claim they make. So if you see someone claiming 5 things that Diamond players do that you don't, yeah, maybe that is 5 things that Diamond players do that you don't, but maybe it's not. Like, the thing that we always talk about, me and Blake, is prepping minions in the bot lane so that your ADC can last hit them under tower. I have a friend who's in gold, and he doesn't play very much anymore, but he's like gold, maybe high silver level player, and he preps minions. And that's something that you don't really see until Diamond. So, like, if I was to watch a video, 5 things that Diamond supports do that you don't, and one of the things on there is prepping minions, well, he already does that as a gold support main. So you might have some very specifically deep knowledge in a certain area that those videos cover, but you could just be deficient in other areas. There is no single thing that every Diamond player does that no Bronze players do. Everyone has like different deficiencies in their gameplay. And you have to understand that whenever somebody makes a blanket statement about increasing your ELO from a video. If they say you're going to get X amount of ELO from this video, you might learn nothing from that video. Potentially. You might have all 5 of the things, all 5 of the tips the video talks about already down.
While we're on this topic, I do want to debunk one thing that drives me absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's this, and I don't think I've even talked to you about this before, so you may be thinking of something that I have said before, and I want you to throw that back. But this one is absolutely maddening, I think, to every Bronze player who's ever heard it. Oh, yeah, if you want to get a Bronze, just CS better. Okay? No, that's bullshit. You cannot CS your way out of Bronze. That is a fucking lie. That being said, CS is a huge impactor on how much gold you're going to get in a game. It is incredibly important, and you do need to do it better. But the act of CSing involves like 4 or 5 other skills, right? And to just say like, oh yeah, CS better. See, your number, it's here, and it's not higher than that. So that means you're bad, right? Like, that's such a black and white way to look at an enormous problem and just be like, oh yeah, it's trivializing what it is to CS, right?
Yep.
So
Right.
like a lot of things go into CSing, when to use abilities to CS, when not to, where the
Positioning of
wave,
the lane.
yeah, where the wave is, where the jungler is, how much pressure can you put out, where are you positioned, where is your support positioned, like
Enemy cooldowns, your cooldowns.
enemy cooldowns, your cooldowns, zones of influence, turret range, whether it's a cannon wave or not, like
whether you can win it all in.
whether you
Like,
can win it all in, how many shots is each minion going to take under a tower?
How much
You know,
damage would you take from enemy minions if you go for a last hit?
Yep.
Like, literally, it's that deep of a concept if you just throw it under the blanket of CSing.
Right. And so, I mean, we just off the top of our head labeled off like 15 things that all fall under the umbrella of CSing. So whenever you say something like CS better, you're not coaching somebody, you're trivializing what it is to do something that's very important.
Yep.
Right? And, yeah, you can CS your way out of bronze, but that's almost like bad Korean advice. You know what I mean? Like, don't die, and you'll win every game if you don't die. No, you won't, because you'll miss a whole lot of advantages trying to play overly safe. Like, these are things that I think you need to avoid blanket statements, and that's one of the biggest ones in bronze that probably infuriates every bronze player.
It's like if you were playing soccer and you're really bad at shooting, so someone just tells you, well, to get better, like to win the game, you just have to get better at shooting. Like just shoot better. And you're like, what? Well, to coach them, you actually need to show them how they should position their foot, how their legs should be how much they should wind up, where they should shoot according to the goalie. Like, there's so many things, like just saying, oh, just shoot better. That's like saying just CS better. It doesn't help anything. It's
And, if you can never get into position to fucking shoot, it doesn't matter if you're Pele.
Yep.
When you get there. You know what I mean? Or if you're a goalkeeper, your shooting practice isn't really all that helpful.
Yep.
But yeah, these are things that I think kind of overly trivialize the experience that coaching does address very well. But the other thing that addresses it very well is, like I said, the UNSW Law Society videos, because that actually goes into detail about all those things that we talked about. Right?
Let me throw in.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
go ahead.
what?
I was
No,
going to
well-
actually give you the floor. I was going to say you
Oh,
said
cool.
something earlier that before we
Oh.
started you wanted to bring up, and I want you to do that.
I think this might be different than what you're thinking of, but it's equally important. When you're trying to get better, after you listen to this podcast, you're going to be like, I'm going to go listen to all the UNSW Law Society videos, and that's great. You should watch all of them. But you should only focus on improving one aspect of your game at a time. So, like, when I was trying to learn wave management, all I focused on was, like, making sure that I left every wave in a good position. And it made me worse at first because my map awareness got way worse when I started to learn top lane. It was just generally a lot shittier, and it's still not up to par with my jungle map awareness, but I'm working on it. My map awareness got worse, my trading got worse, but my wave management got leaps and bounds better when I learned it on a lower rated account first and then took it to my main. You can learn it in normals and then take it into ranked if you only have one account, which I'm guessing the majority of you do. But if you try to focus on too many things at once, you're going to dilute it so much that you don't learn anything. You have to learn one concept at a time because that's how our brains work. It's too hard to learn that many concepts at one time, which is why so many people say that one tricking is the best way to get elo because you can only focus on one thing.
For example, I've been coaching Ashley. For the last 2 weeks, we've been working on warding a bush that a fight is going on in and looking at where your ADC is when you decide to all in. Those have been like the two most obvious deficiencies that she had. I mean, non-mechanical deficiencies, because you can fuck things up mechanically, and that's just practice, right? Like, I'm not expecting you to go into Guitar Hero and just jam away on Expert automatically. I'm expecting that you're going to have to play through easy and medium and hard and whatever before you get there. That's fine. That's mechanics. Mechanics will come with practice. These are like mental exercises, right? And she has actually made noticeable improvements in those areas. And she still hasn't mastered it. We haven't moved on from that point yet, but we will soon, I'm sure.
Can I say one thing about Ashley, because I've been playing with her as well, that I've noticed that goes back to an earlier point that I made? So, you know how I was talking about like that guy that preps minions, even though nobody else in gold preps minions? Well, Ashley's a silver player, and after she kills bot lane turret with her AD carry, she roams. Or if her AD carry has just recalled and the enemy has a huge wave bot, that they have to deal with under their turret, she roams. And pretty much no silver support players roam. But that's one thing that I've actually seen her actively do without me or Blake telling her. Like that as early as you can, that only diamond players do, that you can improve on right now, because some things just click with people better than others. A dog's barking. And like roaming, for whatever reason, just clicks with Ashley, and she just was like, yep, okay, I get this. And then Blake was just like, cool, you get it. And then you go back to learning how to do something else. Like figuring out assessing your own play and what you know how to do and what you don't know how to do is something that no video is going to teach you, and it requires some like self-analysis. So understanding your own play is important.
I would go out on a limb and say that there are silver players out there who are better at certain aspects of League of Legends than I am, and I have no problem with that. Right? Like, got no problem with it, man. You could be better at your thing, but you've got to be better at the complete package in order to reach the higher tiers. Right? Or good, at least, at the complete package, right? Like, one thing is not going to carry you to diamond, right? All right. Yep. One thing I do want to talk about that has driven me fucking insane.
Here it comes, guys. Oh, shit.
In the last, like, okay, so I've been coaching people for about the entirety that we've done LOLA, which would be like almost 4 years now. Is it 4 years? I mean, it's got to be soon.
180. Something, so that's at least 3.5.
Well, yeah, but we also may have missed a few episodes here or there. But I remember we started in like April, so it should dude. It should be like 4. Holy shit! Anyway, we've been doing this for like almost 4 years, and I've been coaching people that almost the entire time. Probably not the first year. I didn't coach anybody, but after that, I started coaching people. And the one thing that everybody always says to me that drives me absolutely fucking insane is, should I turn off locked camera? Okay. Like, if you would know how much of a stress headache I get from people talking about locked camera, and I swear to God, the next person that tells me that double lift plays with locked camera, I'm going to punch in the face. Here's the deal. When you lock a camera around your character model, it zones you into the dead-ass center of the camera, which means that part of your camera is looking... I'm just assuming that you're at bot lane, right? And let's assume that you're CSing under tower, right? That means about a quarter of your camera is off the screen, so it's giving you no useful information. You get to look at Riot's art for an area that you cannot access, right? Half of your camera is behind the turret, which means you're seeing shit behind you, which is not useful information. And then the other half of your camera is kind of above you in the jungle. That's good, but you want more of that. And then part of your camera is to the left, right? So you get about 50% efficiency of information that you could have on the screen at any given moment. Right? Like, you could double your vision.
Not to mention what your HUD is blocking if you're on the purple team.
So, I mean, you could literally double the available information that you can see if you just take active steps into sliding your mouse to the edge of the screen. And it makes an enormous difference. And if you feel you're losing yourself, press the space bar and you go right back. Right?
Yeah, I can't tell you how much my space bar just gets spammed while I'm playing. Like, I'm just constantly... Like, I'm moving my camera around, I'm hitting spacebar to bring it back. Spacebar to bring... Like, spacebar is, like, just second nature to me now to be hitting it while using lock camera. It just becomes a habit.
And like I said, to me, I don't know how many times that I've come in, like, downriver or something, and I see my ADC is, like, CSing, and they're totally in vision if they move their camera. But then this entire fight goes on, like, literally just outside of where their vision would be if they weren't on lock screen, and they don't join. And what would be like a triple kill is instead the opposite, right? Because we got no help from our carry, right? I don't know how many times I've seen that happen. And somebody had put that on Reddit the other day, and I responded to their thread. I said, "Look, guys, this is." And
Do I really need to unlock my camera?
Yeah, that was
I don't
it.
think
It
it's
was
actually that important. I'm an
high-elo
expert.
players tell me to unlock my camera, but I don't even know why they would do that. And I'm like, God damn
There
it.
couldn't be
Okay.
an actual reason behind it, could
Yeah,
there?
I was like, this is why. And I literally drew it out with dashes and like a T for the tower, and this is an X, it's you. This is your enemy laner, this is your enemy support, and over here's the jungler. And then I drew it as if the camera was locked, and I put the X in the middle. And I'm like, this is how much information you just lost, right? And I had a guy reply to that post and say, I don't really think it's necessary to unlock your camera. I'm a Diamond 5 player, and I don't play with unlocked camera. And I'm like, I don't understand why you would want to play with a disadvantage or why you would defend playing with a disadvantage. That's like saying, I'm a Diamond 5 support player and I don't prime minions, so I don't really feel like you have to.
Yeah.
But,
you
but
don't
wait,
have to.
you could do that and you would get better,
Yeah.
but you refuse to. Like, yes, you managed to get to Diamond with an enormous hole in how you play. Good on you for being better at everything else to make up for a deficiency. But don't defend a deficiency.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Can in a similar vein to this, you also have to play with SmartCast. And
Yes.
double lift is to locked camera what Dopa, the Korean mid laner, is to SmartCast. Because every fucking time that somebody brings up SmartCast, some fucker is like, oh yeah, but Dopa doesn't play with SmartCast and he's a Korean rank 1 mid laner. Guess what? Dopa is a fucking savant when it comes to understanding this game on a mental level. Like, he's fucking Rain Man when it comes to understanding how League of Legends is played. So
Not
he can play
TSM
without.
Rain Man. Not TSM
Oh,
Rain
no.
Man. Actual
Rain
movie Rain Man.
So
that
I've
Rain Man.
actually played against Rain Man, and he's so retarded now and terrible at the game. Sorry if you're one of his fans, but he's awful. He used to be really good. Anyways, no, but Dopa's fucking Rain Man in the mid lane, and he can play without SmartCast because he's just that good. But you have to play with SmartCast, and I actually have for both of these like a method that I developed for how you can pick them up more efficiently and quickly than if you try to just if you were to just go into it blind. And it's that you have to just fucking turn it on and do it and not make excuses anymore.
Yeah. 100%.
That's so true. It's a perfect method. I have no answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to just do it. Just do it.
Last one. And just rip off the Band-Aid, dude. You have to turn it off.
Yes.
I'll tell you this. Ashley had a problem with this. We keep talking. We are just using her all over the place today for examples. But Ashley had a problem with this. I made her unbind her spacebar.
Yep.
Because she was holding the spacebar the entire time after she took off lock camera. And I'm like, this is training wheels, what you're doing right now. Take them fucking off. Unbind the key. Force yourself to move your camera until it feels normal, and then you won't do that. Then you can turn back on your spacebar, but not right now.
Yep.
You know,
And same with QuickCast. You turn it on, you play 25 games with QuickCast, where you QuickCast all your abilities except for very rare stuff like Rumble Ult and Victor E. But every normal skill shot, every targeted ability, you turn on QuickCast and you just leave it. And that's how you learn it. There's no other method. There's no 5 tips to help you learn how to play with QuickCast. There's none of that. You just learn it.
Do it.
5 ways Diamond players play with QuickCast that you do not.
Yeah,
League of Legends
exactly.
Anonymous podcast.
They do.
Okay, last one that I'm going to throw out, and then we'll wrap this thing up. We've gone 50 minutes, and I think we've really covered a lot of good material. All right, this one, yet another one that drives me fucking insane. Set yourself up a key binding to level up your abilities and use it. I see people click to level their abilities. That is an atrociously bad habit that will get you killed at some point in some game often. right? And like the other thing is, I guarantee you, you will, if you don't click to level up your ability during a fight, you will go in weaker than you could have been if you had just hit your button to level up that ability and continued fighting.
Can I throw something in here? Because I actually can't hit the control key with my pinky. I have weird hands that, like, for whatever reason, I just can't do that. So I'm showing it on the webcam. Obviously, not many people are going to be able to see it. But I bought a mouse specifically to help with this deficiency. And I have all my level up key bindings on the mouse. And you can get, like, a Razer Naga or a Naga Hex. And I'm not saying you have to get that. But, like, that is a deficiency that I don't think that I could fix normally, so I went for a specific way to fix it, and it works for me, and you have to find what works for you. If control click doesn't work for you, there are ways around it.
Most people do not know that Michael was the first successful trial in a baboon to human hand transplant.
I got weird hands, man. What do you want?
Yeah,
And
weird ass monkey hands.
So,
long and furry. He's always holding a banana.
I slammed my pinky in a door when I was like 5, and it never grew back right. Look how crooked this fucker is. That's messed up.
I wonder what happened to the monkey that donated that pinky during his lifetime.
He got used in shampoo clinical testing. He lost all his hair, and now he lives on as a New York stockbroker. In my new movie, Monkeys Gone Wild on Wall Street. See it in theaters, April 27th.
You could tell which monkey he is. He's the one with the human hands.
With the normal
with the fucked
human
up
hands,
pinky.
who's bald and wears a suit.
Yeah,
that's
him.
$1 million idea. I'm gonna, yeah. I think that's a good cue for us to end.
Real quick before we leave the leveling skill topic, I will let everyone know how learning it goes because I don't do this.
What? Wormlag.
I click on my abilities.
Oh my god!
Oh Jesus Christ!
I'm the dude with weird monkey hands, and I'm still the second least retarded hand person here. Holy shit!
Okay,
yeah.
So seriously though, do that now and never look back. That is
and Wormlax in a week
habit.
is gonna give us his status update on learning.
You know what's funny is I was doing this and I made that statement and I saw Wormlax just look uncomfortable and guilty.
Well,
I was like, what's this? What's this about? Does he have something to add here?
Oh, something to add indeed.
God.
Oh shit, that's priceless. Okay, yeah. So I mean, like I said, here's the thing that I
no
did
brain
notice.
renected main, by the way.
No, here's the thing I did notice. He wasn't like, I got to diamond without doing that. I don't give a fuck if I have a deficiency in my game. It doesn't matter. I'm cool. Like, nope. No, sir.
And those are the easiest things to fix. Like, people are always looking for shortcuts. Those 3 things are some of the easiest mechanical errors to fix. So,
yeah, that's
do
the
it.
low-hanging fruit.
Yes, that's like the shit that, like,
I'm
you
gonna
can learn
eat
in
it
a week or 2 and it be mastered, essentially. Well, not mastered, but you know what I mean.
Actually, my reflexes with clicking down to my abilities has made me a much better player with mouse.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're getting the fuck out of here.
All right, let's play a sad ditty for Wormlax.
It was a good run. We're going to do a Twitter poll on is Wormlax monkey fingers
or am I monkey fingers?
Actually, there is a running joke between my friends that I was a part of an experimental hand transplant. So I think I fall right into that. I mean, it's not that my hands are weird. It's just more that my friends make fun of me for being bad at video games.
Did you get your hands transplanted with a beagle?
Yes, I just have
claws.
Like, that's what it is.
It's actually super impressive.
That's why he levels up his abilities that way. It makes sense.
He's got a legitimate complaint.
That's
He's got
a legitimate
gripe.
medical reason.
I actually use my snout to hit the keyboard.
That's impressive. The first dog playing League of Legends.
Oh, man. I think on that note, we really need to stop before we offend someone or someone's pet.
Before we defend a beagle-human hybrid.
We're a PC show. What can I say?
There's probably at least one listening. I can guarantee it.
But
All right.
all right. Anyway, we'll wrap it up with that. Guys, community games have been popping off lately. I'm really excited about the attendance we got. We had a blast last time.
Yeah.
The commentary was
Top notch.
hilarious, but probably not the best like league focus this week. But we'll get back. I'll try not to derail.
If you
too
want to
hard.
watch one VOD to get you into community games, just go watch this week's because it was a just magical treasure.
It was a doozy. We talked about some things, but no,
Yeah.
it was funny because right after we recorded we were doing the recording, the guy's like, "So what'd you think about my blah blah blah?" I was like, yeah, you're gonna watch the VOD. You'll love it." It totally covered all that. You were great.
Yeah, you gotta watch the VOD. We totally talk
Yeah,
about it.
We nailed
Mhm.
it. Nailed it. Anyway,
Yeah.
but no, we had a fun time this week. I think all the community members enjoyed the game. We were able to strike up like a really balanced game. And while we did that, we also had like 2 5-man normals going on as well. So that was really cool.
Mhm.
So guys, thank you for showing up. Thank you for, shouting back to us. We appreciate knowing that people are listening, and the coaching offer is real. I'm not trying to give you 100 reasons why you've got to do other stuff first.
No, 5 reasons. 5 reasons.
I'm sorry, 5 reasons why you're not being coached to Diamond by us. So anyway, if you do want coaching, do reach out. I'm happy to look at your games. The one thing I would ask is that you download something like plays.tv or OBS or whatever so you can upload a video, because I don't want a LOL replay file. And the reason I don't is because I can't see your camera movement.
Yep.
I really need to watch a replay so I can see your camera control, because that's a huge part about getting better.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, with that, if you guys want to sign off, I'll do mine and we'll be done.
See you, everybody.
First, human, animal, monkey, hand hybrid. Signing off. Remember, follow me at Twitter at lolwisepopasmurf.
Please send us bones for Patreon rewards now. We don't want your money, just bones, please. I'm a starving beagle.
Or hooves.
Kibbles. I want kibbles, bits, pig ears.
Really
life.
partial to rope.
Anything that
That's
squeaks.
nice.
Anything that squeaks or is soaked in gravy to at Lola Podcast. Patreon reward is belly scratches. All right, good night, everybody.